At first glance, Boesmansgat, also known as Bushman's Hole, looks peaceful. A calm pool of water lies in the remote plains of South Africa. But beneath the surface hides one of the deepest and most dangerous freshwater caves on Earth. In January 2005, this silent sinkhole became the stage for one of the most haunting tragedies in diving history. A world record diver descended into its darkness to recover the body of another diver who had perished there a decade earlier. What began as a mission of respect would end in disaster. This is the true story of Dave Shaw, Deon Dreyer, and a dive that went far beyond human limits. Boesmansgat sits high in the northern Cape of South Africa, more than 1,500 meters above sea level. Its name means the hole of the Bushman. The cave plunges hundreds of meters into the earth, a vertical shaft leading to a massive underwater chamber. The cold, pitch-black water has taken the lives of many who dared to enter. For years, divers whispered about the mystery of Deon Dreyer, a young South African diver who disappeared there in 1994. Deon was only 20 years old when he failed to surface during a deep dive. His body was never found. The water was simply too deep, the risks too great. His family grieved with no closure, believing his body would remain forever lost in the abyss. Then, 10 years later, a man named Dave Shaw arrived. Dave Shaw was no ordinary diver. He was a commercial airline pilot from Australia and one of the world's most skilled technical cave divers. Late in life, he discovered a passion for exploring the underwater world, and that passion quickly turned to obsession. He had already set world records for deep cave dives using specialized rebreather equipment that recycled the air he breathed. In October 2004, Shaw descended into Boesmansgat to break yet another record. It took 11 minutes for him to reach a staggering depth of 270 meters, deeper than most submarines travel. Down in the silt and total darkness, his light revealed something unexpected. It was the body of Deon Dreyer, lying on the quay floor exactly where he had fallen 10 years earlier. For Shaw, it was a moment of shock and compassion. He recorded the coordinates, surfaced, and contacted the Dreyer family. He told them he believed he could bring their son home. The Dreyers, though grateful, were also worried. They warned him of the risks, but Shaw was determined. Over the next 3 months, he planned one of the most ambitious and dangerous body recovery dives ever attempted. Every detail was calculated – gas mixtures, decompression stops, bailout bottles, equipment redundancy. He would be supported by his close friend Don Shirley, another world-class cave diver. The two spent weeks training, simulating emergencies, and preparing for every possible failure. The dive was scheduled for January 8, 2005. A film crew came to document the recovery. Dozens of support divers helped set up gear and safety lines. For Dave Shaw, this was more than a mission. It was a promise to a grieving family. Early that morning, he suited up, sealed his rebreather, and slipped beneath the still water. As he descended, the daylight faded into blackness. Pressure mounted with every meter. His descent took about 11 minutes. At 270 meters deep, he reached the spot where Deon Dreyer's body rested. But something was wrong. The body was not lying motionless on the floor as before. Over the years, the tissues had changed. The body had become buoyant, coated in a waxy substance called adipocere. Instead of sinking, it wanted to float. When he tried to secure it into a body bag, it began to lift and twist. lines tangled. The bag resisted. The more he struggled, the more silt filled the water around him. His movements slowed. His breathing quickened. In deep diving, overexertion can be deadly. The buildup of carbon dioxide inside a diver's system can cause dizziness, confusion, and eventually blackout. He fought to finish what he started. He tried to pull the body down, attach it properly, and begin his ascent. But the lines caught on his helmet light. His reel line tightened. Every move made things worse. His breathing rate climbed. His rebreather struggled to keep up. Carbon dioxide filled his lungs. He was now fighting two battles at once, the body in front of him and his own physiology. He realized something was terribly wrong. He decided to abort the retrieval. But the lines were tangled, trapping him. He couldn't rise. He tried to cut himself free. He managed a few desperate motions. Then, silence. His lights went still, and his breathing stopped. On the surface, the team watched their dive timers anxiously. Minutes turned to hours. Don Shirley attempted to go after him but faced his own equipment problems and had to abort. He barely survived, suffering long-term injuries to his inner ear and balance. No one saw Dave Shaw again that day. The dive had claimed another life. For 2 days, divers waited and searched. Then something unexpected happened. Both Dave Shaw's body and Deon Dreyer's body floated up together, still attached near the surface. In a tragic twist of fate, the mission that cost Shaw his life had succeeded. He had brought Deon home. For the Dreyer family, the grief was immense, but mixed with closure. After 10 long years, their son could finally be laid to rest. An investigation later revealed the cause of Shaw's death. It wasn't a simple lack of oxygen. It was carbon dioxide buildup brought on by extreme exertion at enormous depth, tangled lines, and limited ability to exhale under pressure. His body simply shut down. Experts later described it as one of the most complex and tragic cave dives ever attempted. Everything had been done correctly, the plan was solid, but in the deep, even perfect planning can fail. The story of Dave Shaw and Deon Dreyer has become a legend among divers. It is a tale of courage, respect, and the thin line between bravery and danger. Dave Shaw's final dive was filmed by a camera mounted on his helmet. That footage, later recovered, shows the quiet determination of a man who understood the risks and accepted them. Dave Shaw was 50 years old. He left behind his wife, children, and a legacy that reminds divers around the world that the deep is not the place for mistakes. Today, Boesmansgat still lies quiet. The water is calm, reflecting the sky above, giving no hint of the darkness below. To stand at its edge is to look into the unknown, an abyss that has taken lives but also inspired awe. The story of Dave Shaw and Deon Dreyer isn't just about tragedy. It's about humanity's endless curiosity, the drive to explore, and the respect that the natural world demands. It's a reminder that even the most experienced can fall victim to the unseen dangers of the deep. In the world of cave diving, time and oxygen are everything. A diver can plan every detail, but in the end, the margin for error is nearly zero. When you're hundreds of meters beneath the surface, 5 minutes of oxygen can mean the difference between survival and silence. Dave Shaw knew that, and yet he went back, not for glory, but to bring peace to a family. In the end, he kept his promise. He gave Deon Dreyer's family the closure they had waited for, but he also gave the world a story that will never be forgotten. Boesmansgat remains one of the deepest and most dangerous underwater caves on Earth. Divers who come here still speak Dave Shaw's name with respect and reverence. His courage lives on as a symbol of dedication and sacrifice. In the silence of the deep, his story echoes as a warning and as a tribute to the explorers who risk everything for the sake of others. Some say heroes are those who conquer the unknown, but sometimes they are the ones who give everything they have, knowing
they may not return.